live Sunday AM show whose name I can't ever remember, but Jeff changed it for me. So whatever you see, that's right. It's right. It's not what I said all the time. We are here to answer your start, sit, DFS questions. Get those in the first 30 minutes because our DFS expert of the universe has to leave after 30 minutes, but he will tell you what you need to know before he goes. Our stat man, Hamid, he's going to be here the whole hour. Our prop man and DFS man, Evan, will be here the whole hour. And Eric, our defensive guy and IDP guy, is coming ASAP, from what I hear. So, gentlemen, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. Just a crazy ass. There's a lot of quarterbacks on this slate, and I still haven't even fully how do you say it, 100% said it. Like, this is it, I'm still indecisive.
Yeah,
for your DFS,
I'm doing great. Just some really quick start sits here. I mean, not starts, it's actives, inactives. Kenny Galladay is active. Dalvin Cook is not expected to play, so I actually would move him out of your lineups at this point. He's more than likely not playing this week. And yeah, as the active inactives come in, I'll let you guys know.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Happy to be here, like always, guys. Man, from a betting standpoint, these lines are pretty spot on this week. So I'm having a lot of trouble kind of finding value in some of these lines. So I think I'm going to go a little light as far as, betting the lines, but I have a lot of prop bets I like, and there's a couple over-unders as well. But yeah, man, these they got these lines spot on. Definitely, Vegas is on their game today.
Nice. So let's start with you, G, so we can make sure we get as much information from you that we can on your DFS. You're saying you're in a quarterback quandary because of today. So, okay, never mind. Hold on. Miami Mike, full point PPR, Sermon or James Robinson, already starting Henry and Madison. What you got?
Oh, what a running back duo right there. With Cook not expected to play, Henry and Madison is pretty nice. For me, it's going to be – I know a lot of people are hesitant. Concussions coming back from that and playing the same week and not missing a week is very rare in this league, given the protocol. And the protocol is a 4-step process. It's not an easy thing to clear. So the fact that he's already cleared it and now is actually going to play this game, it does make me a little concerned. But given the expected potential volume here, I don't see how I start James Robinson over Sermon here. So for me, it's going to be Sermon, although I know it's a Monday night game, but a Sunday night game, but give me Sermon here.
What you got, Evan?
Yeah, I'm on Sermon too, man. I've been on Sermon, like a lot of people, since day one. I claimed him as a potential league winner if he could ever get the opportunity. And I'm just hoping that since he's finally getting the opportunity, he's going to take full advantage of it and kind of secure his role in this offense. But yeah, for me, it's definitely going to be Sermon today over Robinson.
How about you, G?
Oh, come on. You guys know the answer.
If I knew, I wouldn't have asked you.
I've asked Hamid. I've been pounding the table for Trey Sermon before the draft.
He's been pounding it throughout the offseason.
For Trey Sermon?
Yeah, Sermon.
I'm with him.
I think I'm out on basically, unless they're like value plays for DFS, but like for season long, there's only like a few players that I'm interested on the Jaguars. Urban Meyer can't coach worth shit. They're just gonna throw the ball. Next thing you know, James Robinson can probably get like 3 carries for like 20 yards, and you're like, what the fuck?
And just real quick, Miami Mike, if you can post your bench, I want to see who else are the options out there for your flex. I'm assuming you can only start 2 RBs and you're flexing Sermon. So if you can give us the rest of your bench, I'm curious to see who else is available there.
All right, and hello, Alex. What's up? Okay, so back to G on DFS. So you're in a quarterback quandary, you said? Because
I think I narrowed it down.
Okay.
I found my last quarterback, but it's going to shock people.
I can give my running back issue I have if you guys want.
Go ahead.
Why wouldn't we want that?
Well, I mean, if you want to start off with that, all right. So I can only start. Okay, Nick Chubb is my RB1, so I can only start 2 of these guys I'm going to name: Tyson Williams, Trey Sermon, Alexander Madison. I can only start 2 of them.
Wait, who? What? William?
Madison,
Tyson
Williams, and Trey Sermon.
Oh man, Madison, Williams, Trey. I probably start Trey Sermon. I think he has the highest, even though we haven't seen it. I mean, there's a lot of running back banged up in that backfield, and I feel like he's going to get a bigger workload than.
You can only start 1. You said, Hamid?
2. No, he starts 2. He has to leave 1 out.
Oh,
okay.
Trey Sermon and Tyson.
Yeah, that I was going to say.
So you guys are saying bench Alexander Madison against the Seahawks?
Yeah, I think at least for me, Tyson, man, is I think he has top 10 upside today this week in that matchup.
You know, it's funny. I have Tyson and Trey Sermon currently slided in my lineup, and Madison on my bench at the moment. But I was really debating because Madison is going to be a 3-down back. I can't say the same thing about either one of these other 2 that I have. But I also do. I'm fighting with myself here, thinking, well, all of them have so much upside this week. But
FanDuel.com/Holka to get in there. We are 86.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I definitely think Madison is kind of safer than Sermon too, just because we haven't seen it yet, and we know Shanahan may give another back an opportunity, and for whatever reason, he may take the hot hand approach. And then, like you said, we know Latavius Murray is going to get touches, but I just think the matchup for Williams, I think he's definitely in there. And then it would be between Sermon and Madison. But yeah, like I said, I'm a Sermon truther, man. So you're talking to the wrong guy when it comes to there. But Madison's definitely, probably the safer play.
Got it. Thanks, guys.
There's the bench for Miami Mike, who he has on his bench. Hamid, I believe you're the one that asked for him to provide you with that information.
I'd be a little tempted with Kirk. Even if Hopkins plays, I don't think he's going to be utilizing this offense very much. He's going to be more of a decoy, only because the type of injury he has. It's a huge risk for even making it worse, given it's a rib injury. So I'd be tempted with Kirk. I can see him having like a mid to low wide receiver 2 type of game this week. So that's a tough one, man. What do you guys think?
I think Hopkins fine. He played through injuries before. I don't think a guy like Hopkins would take pride in going out there just being a decoy, But
he's done it before, though. He's done it quite a few times before.
I don't know. I think I still stick with Sermon out of all those guys for him.
I'm still sticking with Sermon.
Still Sermon. All right, no, fair enough. Fair enough.
Thanks, Miami Mike, and good luck today on your quest. And hello, Eric. How are you this morning?
Good. I had the dreaded technical difficulties happen, but we're here. We're making it happen. We got it.
You are here, and we are making it happen. And we are once again going to G for his quarterbacks that he has finally decided on.
Okay, so just to name the 10 quarterbacks I had.
10?
Yeah, the 10 quarterback I had, but now I narrowed it down to 5. The number 1 was actually, I won't name it in any order, but there's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Stafford, Brady, Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr, Kyler Murray, and Jared Goff.
Okay.
The 5 quarterbacks I'm probably likely going to play in my 150: Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Kyler Murray, and Jared Goff. So Jared Goff kind of made me throw up a little bit, but the Baltimore Ravens are missing almost 5 starters on their defense. Baltimore should be able to easily score on Detroit. So I'm going with Jared Goff. He has the highest DraftKings leverage score on 4for4, which means basically he's going to be very lowly owned and have the very good projection, medium range for him. I think I see a stack with Cephas and Hawkinson, and then bring it back where it's either Marquise. I'm waiting on that Marquise Brown news. It's huge. So if he plays, then I love that game a lot more. Kyler Murray, cheat code, Konami code quarterback. If Hopkins doesn't play, I will probably be off him in GPP because it doesn't give me a high ceiling. But it looking like he's going to play. Tom Brady, Matthew Stafford, that game's going to be exactly what you hope to be. But we said the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. You're kidding me, dude. Come on, man. And Los Angeles Chargers. And, I'm hoping that game shoots out like it's supposed to be. If it doesn't, then I'm coming after you, Edmund, on Twitter. And then Patrick Mahomes. You always want to have Patrick Mahomes when he's on the slate. Running backs, ooh, man, I heard a lot of people say on podcasts and, just shows and stuff say that they think running back's ugly. I don't. I think it's actually pretty cool. It's not pretty cool, pretty balanced. And there's a lot of guys some of the guys I like, number one, Saquon Barkley with the Atlanta Falcons. I think at 6,500, he's really cheap. This is an elite running back. While a lot of people are out on him, they say, oh, he looks slow, he looks like this, he looks like he can't turn the corner. I'm not worried. Dude, you tell me when you sprain your ankle or rolled your ankle or something like that, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to, boom, do that sudden step again. No, you had to think about it. And I think he's just finally getting eased up. He got eased into the usage. I think they're going to let him go out, ball out in this game against Atlanta at 6,500. Hold on, let me put I did it on the other show. We got to put my King Henry on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, King Henry.
I love it.
It's Derrick Henry weeks, as we know it, to 8,600. Austin Eckler, I love him. One of the guys I'm getting he's in a lot of my rosters is Chris Carson. I like the matchup against Minnesota. I think they're going to try to control that game because Minnesota can score with the best of them. A guy that we talked about, and not a lot of people are on him now, is Najee Harris. We talked about him before the show. If he's getting 100% of the usage and he's 6,600, I'm still going to play him. And Nick Chubb. And then Mr. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. You see, I had to clear my throat for this. And I took a big gulp because he is the guy that I'm really afraid to play. Wow, he's going to be he's probably the highest owned running back on this slate. He can legit be in a timeshare with Darrell Williams and get you 8 points, 6 points, But he's so cheap at 4,800 on that kind of offense. It's just you want to play him. But I'm going to have to make a very tough decision toward where I start making my rosters. Either I play him or I lower my exposure. Right now, I'm leaning toward lowering my exposure, but we'll see. Dalvin Cook not playing, right?
Right.
He's probably expected to play.
He's out,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, those are my running backs mainly. So, I think if I had a core running back, the top 5 would be Barkley, Henry, Carson, Nick Chubb, and then for value, CEH. Wide receiver, I'm just going to name 5 guys that I'm really on. Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, Marvin Jones. Those are the top 5 guys I'm on the most. And I forgot to say 6 guys, I guess. And KJ Osborne, he's 3,600. Mix and match those guys, and you have a pretty good roster.
I love that price on Osborne, man.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And I tell people if Dalvin Cook is out, they're gonna run. Let me take off this fucking hat. I didn't realize how ridiculous I looked until. What's his name? They're gonna run a 3-day. I think they're the heaviest team running. Maybe Hamid can look this up because I can't. I don't even know where to find this, but I just one of the heaviest teams running a 3 wide receivers set, 3 wide receivers out there. With no Cook, I expect them to full on just pass the ball. They'll use Madison and whatnot, but yeah. Tight end, I'm telling you guys, I think I'm pretty much either gonna have a ton of him or just lock him in. Mr. TJ Hawkinson, he's 5,200. While I love Travis Kelce, I'll have him stacked with Patrick Mahomes. I like Kyle Pitts, Tyler Higbee, and, the guy that doesn't watch film, Rob Gronkowski, but he does. He watches more film than Hamid, I'll tell you that much. I'm just kidding, Hamid. I know you watch a lot of film. But no, I mean, those are the guys I like there. And then defense is pretty straightforward. The Titans defense is chalk against Lieutenant Dan Carson Wentz. I mean, playing with 2 bum ankles. And then I also like the Broncos defense, but you got to pay up for that. One defense, but the Bengals are really cheap at $2,100. I don't think Big Ben that good no more. I mean, no. I seen the way he throws the ball. I seen the way he moves. I thought like maybe him losing weight was gonna be like, oh, cool. He'll be more, what do you call it? Mobile. No, he still looks slow and sluggish. So yeah, I like that Bengals defense, forcing a couple turnovers at $2,100. But those are my plays for this week. But just stack some of these games and GPP. But if you really want to look at cash game, go to my Twitter and add me, and then look at my my post, my latest post. I have all my cash game plays, and I also give you a core 5 guys. So the core 5 guys for cash games are Justin Field. What I'm trying to remember off the top of my head: Justin Field, T.J. Hawkinson. Let me see. Go to my Cooper Kupp and Derrick Henry. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm missing one, huh? Mm-hmm. Quarterback. I just go to someone else. I'll find it right now.
Patrick Mahomes.
No. When I say 5 cores, they all play different positions. But just go to someone else for now, please.
Yeah, no worries. So let's go to. Does anyone have their NBA football? Oh, go ahead.
Titans defense. Duh, I forgot the defense. So for defense, Titan defense. For tight end, Hawkinson, Cooper Kupp for wide receiver, Derrick Henry for running back, and quarterback is Justin Field. Those are my core 5 for cash game.
Okay. I have a question for you on DFS, G. Mm-hmm. Would you put Madison in your GPP lineups because Dalvin Cook is out, or no? No,
because I think he had one dud game last year, which was okay, like all right, right. It happened. I'm not a recency bias guy. I just move on, I move on pretty quick. But Madison 6,000 on DraftKings.
Yeah, his price tag already caught up. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, his price is a little bit high. I'd rather pay $500 more and get Saquon Barkley, or I think Joe Mixon too at 6,300, Chris Carson at 6,400, and these guys are getting full workload. They're not these 3 guys are all in the same price range, within $500 of him. Why am I going to pay for a running back that he might get the workload, but they activated Amir Abdullah, and they have that one guy, I can't pronounce his name. He's hell fast. Njoku, he has a weird ass name. But yeah, I don't know his last name, but so I don't know. I'd rather have those other running backs.
Yeah, Alexander Madison is more expensive than Tyson Williams.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, and you didn't mention Teddy B. You're not thinking about Teddy B in your DFS?
No.
Come on.
He doesn't give me that ceiling that I want. I mean, he's fine. He's a fine play for like a fantasy football season long, like that stream. But for DFS, I want big upside. I know he's done well. I think he's gotten back-to-back 20-point games or something like that. But I'm good.
And covered both games. Teddy covers.
Yeah. Wow, he's done a lot better than I thought. But he did face the Jaguars and New York Giants. Now he's
33-11 against the spread.
Yeah, I know he's facing the Jets, but still, I think I can't move on to this guy Matthew Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, and maybe Jared Goff, I guess. But yeah.
Did you hear that number, Hamid? Teddy is 33-11 against the spread.
Yeah, he is actually one of the most successful quarterbacks in the currently active quarterbacks against the spread.
Yeah, unreal.
It's insane.
All right,
what's up, Eric?
What's going on, man? You gonna win some money today or what?
Yeah,
You're
man.
frozen.
I'm ready for Monday night.
DFS. Okay, Whitaker wants to know half PPR flex: Julio Jones, Cortland Sutton, or Miles Sanders. I'm assuming you can only play one in his flex. Only has one flex position. Jones, Sutton, Sanders. What do you got?
Now let's go to Eric. Let's go to Eric first. Let's get him involved. Let's go. What you got, Eric?
Oh, you're so sweet. I would say
You
Cortland
all should be involved all the time.
I would say Cortland Sutton. They're playing against the Jets. I think Hamid already said, or I'm sorry, Gerson already said it. Doesn't have a high ceiling with Teddy, but out of those three, I like him the most. Miles Sanders being a close second, I would say, against that terrible Dallas run defense. But I'm not really touching Julio Jones.
Evan?
Yeah, I mean, first off, this is a good problem to have. This is pretty, three solid players to be deciding in your flex. But I just think we saw the big game from Sutton last week. He's going to get, all the passes, it seems, funneled to him. And against a Jets defense, I think he's in for another, easy 6-reception game. That's his floor. So, yeah, like I said, he's going to get all the targets. He's going to get all the passes to him, pretty much him and Fant. And then, Tim Patrick mixed in there too. But, yeah, I just think after Cortland Sutton's game last week, Teddy's going to be looking for him early and often.
Hamid?
I think Miles Sanders, you can't play him this week. I don't think he has that upside against in this game, even though it's supposed to be a higher scoring game. Julio Jones did have a nice week and a better week too, but I do like Cortland Sutton's upside here. But I think this is a game where Ryan Tannehill can. We have not seen Ryan Tannehill play up to the efficiency that he did actually last year. He's actually quite low in efficiency metrics amongst majority of the quarterbacks in this league, based on how he performed last year, especially off the play action. I think this is a game where he gets that right, and I think we see a little bit more consistency, although I think Julio's ceiling is a little less. I'll take Julio here because I think the Broncos do play the Jets. I think that game's going to not even be close. I don't think he'd throw a ton. I think that lowers Cortland Sutton's ceiling, although he has the safer floor out of everybody. So if you want the safer floor, go Sutton. If you want the higher ceiling, take Julio.
Yeah, real quick, I do have they're really close in rankings for me. I have Sutton at 20 and Julio Jones at 23. So,
I'm taking Sanders against the Dallas. They're playing the Dallas Cowboys, so I mean they don't have a defense. The only defensive player they have is Micah Parsons. That guy's a freak. But yeah, I like Sanders. I mean, I always favor running back in half-point PPR. That's pretty big in this game, in this league. So I think if he gets the touchdown and get that production, I know a lot of people are down on Sanders too, but he getting touches. I mean, he just in this Cowboy game, I like him a lot. He had pretty good games against Cowboys last year. He had an 18-point game and a 26-point. In 2019, he had a 26-point game too. So this defense hasn't improved very much. But I don't know how the hell they only allowed 17 points. Was it? Yeah,
it was 17 last week.
Yeah. But yeah.
I worry about Kenny Gainwell. Especially if the game script goes negative for Philly early, Kenny Gainwell is going to be getting a ton of snaps.
As crazy as it sounds, this is going to sound crazy as hell, but I can easily see Gainwell outperforming Miles Sanders in fantasy this week.
Yeah, possible.
Hope so. That's what I'm playing. Just seeing.
Oh, to the Minnesota 11 personnel thing, they play like 54% of the time. It looks like maybe like lower third of the league. So, okay. But I think it's going to be increased this week for sure.
Yeah, I think that game's going to be a shootout. I like the over on that one.
G, you got 5 minutes to express your DFS wisdom before you go and do your 300 lineups. Impart wisdom upon the masses.
First off, I actually wanted to apologize for last week. I said don't play Cortland Sutton. I totally messed that one up. And trust me, I regretted it right when I saw it. Yeah, it was not. I have to eat crow on that one. No,
the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not one of those guys that if I'm wrong, I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to make excuses, because if you do that, then you're just, you don't belong out in the fantasy industry.
Yeah, you're not learning anything from doing that.
Yeah. Another thing well, hold on. So Jason asked, what is the top stack?
Is that your brother?
That's his brother.
No, he's a person that no, yeah, that's my brother. To me, the top stack is the Rams because it's a lot cheaper and you can get very good, a better roster. It's one of the best value stack roster. Number 2 is probably, it's hard this week. Probably the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, going back to them because it includes that game environment. After that, it's definitely, for me, let's see, I had it right here.
Hi, Jason.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs. Very sneaky one is actually the golf one because it's cheap and you can actually fit like stud running back and stud tight ends, so you can be different that way. But obviously you're going to play your stud Hawkinson. I just wanted to give a shout out. I mean, I know we all get together, talk fantasy every day, but something very sad happened the other day. My tag passed away. That was brutal to me because when I first started fantasy football, just like DFS or anything, I always went to Fantasy Pros, and I'll give a shout out to these websites, Fantasy Pros, Roto Grinders. Those are the top 2, but Fantasy Pros is more for fantasy football. And I do my rankings on there, but losing Mike Tagliere felt like it took away a little bit of my heart for fantasy, I mean, that guy was awesome. He would write a 50,000 word article, which is insane because I haven't even written that much in like my lifetime. And what he did for the community to like bring us all together and support his family was beyond amazing. Because I think for like a good month not last month, maybe a good time, there was some really bad vibes in the fantasy community. And I think this brought us all together and makes it realize that we are good people and we do care for one another. I mean, if you ever, while he had a COVID battle, but if you ever have any problems with personal problems, I'm always there on Twitter. Message me. I'm always there for anybody. We all go through things, and hopefully this COVID battle, we can all overcome it. But we have something special planned for Friday's show for Mike Tagliere, so please tune in. But yeah, that's it. I mean, for DFS this week, good luck, guys.
Hey, G, what time is the Friday show?
My Friday show is at 8:30 Mountain Time, so that's 10:30 Eastern.
10:30 Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, Jeff always makes fun of me for that. So, show in. Stop by the Armchair Fantasy Show, DFS. Tim Strobel, Jeff Lambert, and we break down. I mean, it's a fun show. We have some good times on there. I mean, it's just so much fun. Every Friday, I look forward to that. But no, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Hey, good luck with the fantasy football stuff. Remember, guys, don't take my advice on Courtland Sutton ever again. But peace out. Take care, fellas.
All right, G.
And ladies.
All right.
Also, Hopkins is now active. He is going to play officially.
Okay. First, so we didn't do it because we didn't have everyone here and because people started asking questions right away. But Hamid, your one love, your one leave for today.
Well, I kind of hinted on my one lead, which was Miles Sanders. If you can afford to, at this point, Miles Sanders has not given you the value that you've been looking for in fantasy. A lot that's of course with the Eagles' offense that hasn't clicked entirely just yet, especially last week. If Jalen Hurts needs to improve as a passer, if you can improve as a passer, not only that, but he's taking away work on the running game as well. For me, and Gainwell has been getting more snaps, and especially in the passing game as well. Gainwell has shown that he's actually better than Miles Sanders in that backfield as far as the passing game is concerned. That lowers Miles Sanders' ceiling even more for me. And because of that, even going into this week, even though it's expected to be a very high-scoring game, unless Miles Sanders gets a goal line touchdown or was inside the 5-yard line gets a touchdown, I don't see how he gets a touchdown this week and return you that value as an RB2. I think he's a low-end flex at best. If you can bench him for someone else, there's plenty of options out there. KJ Osborne, for instance, I play over Miles Sanders, as crazy as that sounds. So yeah, he's the one who I don't like as much. However, some good news on the horizon: Tyson Williams is someone who I love this week. Now, yes, he's been splitting that backfield a ton with Latavius Murray, and Latavius Murray is the one with 2 touchdowns. I believe it is, going into week 3. And he's been taking a lot of that near the goal line, inside the 5-yard line work from Tyson. Now, granted, Tyson did have, I think it was in week 2 last week, where at the goal line, Tyson tried to reach over and he fumbled the ball, but Duval ended up with the ball in the end zone. So you could have had that touchdown there. But Tyson has shown not only is he a better runner, he looks faster, he's a better receiver. Yards per reception, Tyson Williams is 10th in the league. Not only that, true yards per carry. What is true yards per carry? It is you take out all the gains, the rushing attempts that were 10 yards or more. You take that out and then take that accumulation, divide that into the attempts, and you get that number. Tyson Williams is 4th in the league amongst all running backs in that category. He's extremely efficient as a runner. And I think this week is his prime spot where I think he blows up. It would not surprise me if we see Tyson with over 100 yards and a touchdown this week. He is my love, and I'm going to have him in my DFS lineups. I'm going to have him in every starting lineup I have.
All right. Thanks. And then, Eric, defense or IDP, love and leave.
Oh, I was going to do an offensive one, but I do have a couple here.
You can do an offensive one if you want.
No, I'll do a quick defense. So as far as just the DSTs, I hate Green Bay and San Francisco this week. I think that game is going to be fireworks. I don't expect there to be a lot of defense played in those 2 games. But as far as love goes, for your IDPs, any linebackers and safeties in the Browns and Bears game, 60 rush attempts per team. That's 6th in the NFL. So they're trying to run the ball. That's more opportunities for tackles. Now, as far as offensive players go, my leave is Najee Harris. Sorry, Gladys. But Cincinnati has been quietly a really, really, really good defense against the run. 67 and 66 yards, respectively, to each game to running backs. It's an AFC North divisional game. We know how those go. Hard-hitting, really low-scoring games. The over-under is 43.5 on this one. And so, yeah, I don't think that I'm not seeing him do a whole lot. Maybe through the air. I hope he does, but I really like him coming into the year. I don't have him on any teams, but I hope he does, but I don't think he will. And then as far as love goes, this one I'll keep super short because he's like the RB4 on the week. Austin Eckler is going to dominate. Kansas City's given up 7 rushing touchdowns. He doesn't get goal line carries. Actually, he already has 2 rushing attempts from inside the 5-yard line, which ties his attempts from last season. So he's on pace for a record number of red zone carries for his career as far as that goes. So 54-point over under, 3rd largest of the week. Let's go, Austin Eckler. He's going to kill it.
I love Austin Eckler. Hate the Najee Harris and whatever. So before we go to Evan, Daniel wants to know Gesicki or Ingram 1.1 PPR. Ugh, that's like murderer's row. Yuck.
Where's my trash? I need to go puke my trash.
Sorry, Daniel.
Man, that's rough.
Who would you pick?
You said Kenny Galladay is active, right, Hamid?
Yes, he is active.
Yeah. See, if Galladay wasn't active, then I think Ingram could be set up maybe for some more targets. But with Galladay active, Shepard is the man in that offense. Hard to play Ingram. Gesicki's another one. It's hard to play. I think it's a toss-up with that. For me, it would be the matchup. I think while they're both decent matchups, I think there's going to be more scoring in the Atlanta and Giants game. So I would take my shot on Ingram, maybe getting a red zone look.
What do you have, Hamid?
So before I even give my answer, Wentz and Hopkins, of course, active. Higgins and Anthony Firkser are both inactive officially. Odell Beckham is also officially active. Joey Bosa, surprising. I did not expect him to play, but he's actually playing with that ankle injury. All right, my answer to your question, I have to disagree here. I think you do start Ingram because Falcons are not only bad against the run, against the wide receiver, against the quarterback, but they're also one of the worst in the league against the tight end position. They're allowing so far. What was that?
He said Ingram.
Oh, he said Ingram?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said
Oh, my bad. I thought you said. Oh, I thought you said because of God. They don't. Okay, so yes, I will agree with him in that case. I would agree with you, my friend. So the Falcons are allowing the second most fantasy points to the tight end position. Not only that, but they are also one of only two teams, the second team being the Packers, to allow 3 receiving touchdowns to the tight end position. This is a great spot to make Evan Ingram to make his debut. The only question I have to ask though is his volume. How many snaps is he going to see? I'm not sure. But even then, even a limited Evan Ingram on snaps. Give me Ingram over Gesicki because we haven't seen anything from Gesicki yet.
What do you got, Eric?
Y'all killed it. I'm definitely going Ingram. And think about this too. Jacoby Brissett's going to be throwing the ball in Miami, so I'll take the stability of the stability of Daniel Jones. Never mind. I don't know. Just don't play either one of them, and just because you could get negative. No, I'm just playing. I would definitely take Ingram. Like Evan said, it's going to be a higher scoring game in my opinion. So opportunities.
So in his wide receivers, he has Boyd, or not wide receivers. I guess in another flex, he has Boyd, Pollard, or Tim Patrick. Still the PPR. Eric, who do you have out of those 3?
Tim Patrick made me a liar last week, so I kind of don't want to go against him again. Pollard's only seeing like 33% of the snap share. I know he had a great week last week. It's awesome. He's not better than Zeke, just FYI for everybody out there saying that. Oh gosh. I'll go, you know what? I'll go Tyler Boyd. I think I saw, T. Higgins is officially inactive. So that's one less target that Boyd has to contend with. So I'll go with Tyler Boyd in this game here.
Hamid.
This is a little tough. Tim Patrick is a touchdown monster. Like he just scores touchdowns. Dude's a little guy, but scores touchdowns, So I think you can't trust Pollard here, even though he did have a nice game. It's between Boyd and Tim Patrick. And if Higgins was active, I'd go Tim Patrick here. But I think Tim Patrick and Boyd are both going to be pushes, to be honest, this week. So you can't go wrong with either one. But just the volume alone, give me Boyd.
And Evan, who do you have?
Yeah, I would pretty much go hand in hand with what Hamid said. I mean, with Higgins out, we saw Boyd step up last week with Higgins in there, and I went kind of the Tim Patrick route while everybody went the Boyd route. And we saw him step up. So I think with Higgins out, he becomes a main target for Burrow for sure.
All right, so Daniel, what's your dog's name? Just out of curiosity. He's nice looking. All right, Ev, what is your love and leave on your prop bets? All
right, so let me get here real quick. Just a couple ones real quick. DeAndre Swift over 4.5 receptions at plus 120. Tony Pollard over 2.5 receptions at plus 120. I would definitely take a shot on those. As far as the ones I really, really like, Robert Woods over a half-yard rushing. We know the Bucs' run defense is, stout. So McVay, probably would be looking to get creative ways to get around it. Not to mention he's going in this game with a banged-up backfield. Darrell Henderson's out. Woods has 60 carries over the past 3 seasons, so I can see him being an option for one of those kind of gadget plays a few times in order to keep the Bucs defense guessing and go over that half rushing yard easily. Next one is Daniel Jones over 26.5 rushing yards. When Saquon Barkley is your running back, it's hard to believe that your leading rusher would be Daniel Jones, but that's the case so far through both of the Giants' games this season. I do expect Barkley to get going in this game. I kind of think this is his get-right game. But between designed runs and scrambles due to that weak offensive line, I think Jones should easily be able to clear this prop.
Okay.
And then finally, Dustin Jefferson over 77.5 receiving yards. The Seahawks have given up 22 catches for 321 yards and 2 touchdowns to wideouts over the first 2 weeks. I love the over in this game, so I expect a ton of scoring. And I project Jefferson to be, obviously a large part of that. And I think Jefferson could be possibly the highest scoring receiver in fantasy this week.
Ouch. All right.
Also, a little nugget for you. Go dating back to last year, since week 1, Robert Woods has hit the over, has missed the over only 5 games. So we're talking 18 games dating back to week 1.
Yep.
Robert Woods has not had at least 1 yard rushing in only 5 games.
Oh, and one more long shot one. This is kind of one I'm just going to take a flyer on. Is David Montgomery? It's a parlay. It's a prop parlay. David Montgomery, Allen Robinson, 6 receptions each at plus 2,200. I think Robinson is gonna catch that, but whether or not Montgomery can get there is up in the air. But I think maybe Justin Fields, trying to be conservative to start and get kind of some confidence under his belt, he may dump down to Montgomery, and we may see him hit that mark. So yeah, if they can each get 6 receptions, I'm gonna cash in at plus 2,200.
Nice. Ryan wants to know PPR, OBJ, Rondell Moore, or Gaskin. Eric.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. So I'm not playing OBJ in his first action back in over a year now. I just think they're going to ease him in. I know he's pretty much the only wide receiver target there, but that just scares me. I don't like that. Rondell Moore, I love that guy. He's so fast and quick and talented. And Myles Gaskin, I'll go Rondell Moore against Jacksonville. I think he might see a little bit of increased opportunities, increased targets with DeAndre Hopkins being banged up. But Myles Gaskin, he saw 5 targets in the last 2 games. They're playing the Raiders, who apparently are Super Bowl contending team here. So they may be playing catch up a lot. But I'll go with Rondell Moore in this. But I think Myles Gaskin is pretty darn close. The problem with Myles Gaskin, he's only rushed 14 times this season. That is it. That's kind of not. It's not. I don't think what any of us expected when we were taking him in the 5th round of fantasy drafts.
Howard, what do you have?
So it's. I don't know how I can believe OBJ is going to play a full lot of snaps, even with Landry out. I can't trust OBJ. And Gaskin has not been. He's such a low floor and such a low ceiling. And now with Tua out, it makes it even tougher. Against the Jaguars, I'll take Rondell Moore, but I got to see more than 6 targets to this guy. I hope he gets that because all this guy needs is the targets to actually perform. So if that can happen, then absolutely. I think Rondell Moore is the play here over OBJ and Gaskins.
And Ev, you agree?
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you need. I think, like the guys have said, Gaskin has that kind of safe floor. We know he's going to see the receptions. Rondell Moore could give you a huge game in 2 plays. You know what I mean? So it's kind of what you're looking for. But for me, I'm going to take the upside of Rondell Moore, especially in this matchup.
Okay. Jeremy, in a full PPR and for flex, would you guys feel safe sitting Damian Harris over Pittman this week? He also has Rondell Moore on the bench. He could be a flex option. Okay. So with PPR, flex, Damian Harris, Pittman, Rondell Moore.
So it's start 1 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Rondell Moore, Damian Harris over. So Damian has Pittman or Rondell Moore, basically.
Basically, yes.
Wow, that's a tough. That's really tough. You know what? I honestly don't expect Wentz to even finish this game. Wentz pushed really hard all week to play. Keep in mind, guys, he has both his ankles are sprained. His mobility is going to be shot. Even though reports are he's moved well in training camp. Well, in practice this week. I don't care about those reports. But I'm not starting Pittman over Harris or Moore this week. So it's between Harris and Moore here. I'll
Who are they
take
playing?
Moore.
Who's staying here? Who's New England playing?
New Orleans,
who are good against the run. So I'm going to take Moore here out of the 3. I don't think I can trust Pittman this week because I don't think Wentz finishes the game. If you have the faith, Jeremy, that Wentz does play the whole game, then by all means, you start Pittman over both of these guys. But give me Rondell Moore.
Evan.
Yeah, this is a tough decision. I really like Damian Harris. I'm a big Damian Harris guy. We know he's going to get all the freaking work. especially with the type of offense they're playing. But I am big on Rondale Moore in this freaking matchup this week, man. I think that with DeAndre Hopkins being banged up, he's still DeAndre Hopkins. But we may see him kind of take it easy and kind of just be out there to take, as a decoy per se, and open up things for Rondale Moore. I'm looking for Kyler Murray to have a huge game. I don't see how Jacksonville is going to stop him through the air, stop him on the ground. I'm taking the over on this one. I think we could see a 40-point game out of the Cardinals, and Rondale Moore have a huge game.
Hey guys, a little bit of very, interesting news from the Giants. So Devontae Booker is a healthy scratch this week, which really implies that they are really comfortable with Barkley.
Saquon is healthy.
Workload. So if there's a week Barkley's going to shine, it should be this week, and he's going to have the opportunity. It would not surprise me at this point. He sees at least 85% of the offensive snaps, given this latest news. So now it's not a matter of the opportunity. It's a matter of now him producing. If it's not against the Falcons, it will never be against anyone else. So I feel a little better about that, knowing that Barkley is now expected to get majority of the workload, and he's supposed to be involved quite heavily in this game.
Eric, what do you, Jeremy's question? Are you with more too? Or
No, I'm actually Damian Harris. I'm going to take that volume. He's saw 23 attempts and 16 attempts in the past two games. He's actually saw 4 targets, which was probably 4 more than I thought he was going to see this entire season. So I'll just take that guaranteed volume. I know it's a bad matchup, and I love Rondale Moore's matchup, but just a slight edge for Damian Harris for me. And also, I took the over at 61.5 rush yards for Saquon. So let's go.
There you go.
You might get that in the first half, my friend.
Wait. Oh no, they're not playing your guys. You guys are playing the Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. So Jeremy, you have. You're welcome. I'm not sure if you got the answer. Also,
Darnell Mooney and Marquise Goodwin are both active.
Jeremy has the answer. We just have the advice.
So who? Yeah, maybe we'll see. You're welcome, Jeremy. Good luck on whoever you decide to play. Yeah. All right. So, gentlemen, for your start sets this week in non-DFS and season long, which quarterback are you absolutely staying away from? Not including Jacoby Brissett, not named Jacoby Brissett. You can't pick Jacoby Brissett.
This is beyond easy, actually, for me. It's Joe Burrow, and the answer to that really simply is one. I think his floor and ceiling is really going to be inconsistent this week. I mean, for the season. Not only that, but for anyone who follows the Bengals and is a Bengals fan, you guys know that the Bengals play in a division full of really good defenses. So keeping that in mind, here's his forget about his schedule for the season. Here's his last 5 weeks, the defense he's going up against. Actually, you know what? From number 28 onwards, here's the defenses. The Steelers, Chargers, Niners, Broncos, Ravens, and the Chiefs. For your playoff push and playoff run, those are not the defenses I want my quarterback facing. So Joe Burrow is someone I hate season long.
All right. Jeremy is going with more because he's going to risk it. No risk it, no biscuit. There you go, Jeremy. Quote Bruce Arians, former Pittsburgh Steelers coach. Eric, who is the quarterback not named Jacoby Brissett that you are staying away from this week?
So he still has the Indianapolis. He's still got the Indianapolis connection there, but it's Carson Wentz. 2 freaking sprained ankles. Here's the thing. I don't know if anybody's going to start him in the first place, but I wouldn't touch him with a 34.5 foot pole.
34.5.
That's like from the Grinch song, you know.
It's a what?
It's from that song, The Grinch. That song is The Grinch.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sing it, but yeah.
Okay, it's going through my head right now. I got it. I got you. Evan, who is it's a 34.5-inch fall. Just got to the part. Evan, who is the quarterback you are staying away from, not named Jacoby Brissett? this week?
For me, I want no parts. I'll give you two. I want no parts of Jameis Winston, and I want no parts of Ben Roethlisberger. Especially on Roethlisberger's, part. Deontay's out. He has not looked great whatsoever. We'll see how he does against this Bengals defense, but without his number one receiver, and he's kind of banged up too. He's just questionable all around the board. He looks like while he's had a great career, he looks like he is definitely on his way out the door. And then Winston, an impressive week one, but as impressive as it was, the yards weren't there. He just got, lucky on hitting those touchdowns, which inflated his stat line tremendously. Since then, he's had no passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and scored just 7 fantasy points. And that was in week 2 against Carolina. Yeah, I don't want any part of Jameis Winston, no part of Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. I am not disagreeing with you, but Carolina's defense is highly underrated. Like, Carolina has a really good defense.
The Patriots defense is no one to sleep on either, though.
What?
The Patriots defense is not a defense to sleep on either. He may have a better game, but
this is true. But weren't they missing like 7 coaches? New Orleans, like, there's no communication going on because
that's true.
I'm not saying he's gonna have a good game against New Orleans because I don't think he will. I just don't think he'll have like a really horrible game, but he could. I mean, it's Jameis Winston. Anything's possible. Which tight end are you absolutely playing if you had him, not named Travis Kelce? Hamid.
It's got to be Tyler Higbee, right? I mean, okay. I know the Rams are facing a really good defense. Now, against the run, I would say, they're really good. But against the tight end position, they've been a little susceptible. They're giving up. They're tied for the 3rd most receptions giving up to a tight end position, and also the 4th most receiving yards to a tight end position. Granted, they've not given up a touchdown, but I think this is a game where the Rams are going to deploy the Dallas Cowboy tactic. Abandon the run altogether and pass them every down. I think there's enough volume to go around to keep Kupp, Woods, and Higbee relative in this game. I think you abandon Sony Michel altogether. You bench him if you pick them up. I would be very comfortable starting Higbee even in DFS. I don't know what his price is, but if it's a decent price, I would not mind you going Higbee.
Okay, Eric.
Hit the wrong button again. I'm going to go somebody. It's a deep dive, but Austin Hooper. There's really no one else to throw the ball to. I guess we talked about earlier. OBJ I don't think he's going to see a full complement of snaps. So Austin Hooper saw 5 targets last week. If he catches, let's say he catches 4 balls for 40 yards and a touchdown, he's probably a top 5 tight end on the week or something. So a more deep dive, definitely Austin Hooper. I'm actually playing him in a few DFS lineups. So fingers crossed.
Ellen.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little, not super deep, but obviously you're starting, the stud tight ends, the TJ Hawkinson, the Darren Wallers, and so forth. So I'm going to go Noah Fant. He's been solid, for fantasy managers to start the season, averaging 12.8 fantasy points over his first 2 games. He gets the Jets, which is obviously a positive matchup, and they've surrendered the most fantasy points to opposing tight ends over the last 9 games at 20.2 points per game. I'm gonna be confident in starting Fant this week.
All right, and last question, DFS question. What is your most favorable stack for today? And Evan.
So I really like the Seahawks stack going up against the Vikings. That's going to be one of my go-to stacks of the day. A lot of people, once again, are going to be targeting that Chiefs Chargers game, and I'm one of those guys in DFS that likes to pivot to a little lower owned positions and stacks. And Seattle, the stack's not going to be super low end by any means, but it will be less owned than the Bucks, Rams, the Chargers, Chiefs, but I think it can have similar upside. And Russell Wilson has been playing freaking lights out. Tyler Lockett as well. So I look for that Seattle stack to put up big points for me, and then run it back with the Dustin Jefferson, and hopefully we're in the green.
There you go. Not Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind any of them, at
Right.
all. But I'll look at ownership and kind of look at salary and so forth. But yeah, I just know I'm going to be stacking the Seahawks, and whenever you're stacking and you think it's going to be a big game and a shootout, that means that on the other side of the ball they're going to be scoring as well. So you should always run it back with a piece of the other on the other side.
There you go. And sage advice. Eric.
I love Tom Brady and whatever combination of Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown. He's only been playing for freaking 15 seasons. AB is officially out. So more opportunity share for Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, even Gronkowski. Gronk scares me a little bit because I think it's a third of his receptions have gone for touchdowns. That is not sustainable. But yeah, I love Tom Brady's already thrown nine touchdown passes in this very young season. So I have one I'm looking at right here: Chris Godwin, Tom Brady. I really do think Chris Godwin's going to get like 2 touchdowns today. It's going to be.
Who are you running it back with?
I am Keenan Allen. I've got Keenan Allen
Nice.
in that lineup as well.
There you go.
There you go.
I worry about his touchdown upside though. Keenan Allen he's not a big touchdown scorer, but if he could get 10 receptions for 150 yards,
Yeah, he's like the PPR guy.
Yeah, on DraftKings scoring, that's huge.
Yeah. Hamid?
Give me the guy. There's the wide receiver who's third in the league amongst all wide receivers in snap share. He's second in route run, tied for first with touchdowns, and fourth in receiving. Give me Adam Thielen stacked with Kirk Cousins against the Seahawks this week. I think this is going to be an absolute eruption from Thielen. It will not surprise me if he does have 2 touchdowns. Now, the Seahawks are actually not that bad against a wide receiver in their defense. So I do think this is where Adam Thielen might outshine Justin Jefferson a bit. But I think they both are good plays this week. Well, in DFS, at least, I'm not touching JJ. If you are going to take a stab, I'd rather have Adam Thielen. In season long, of course, it will not surprise me this week if Adam Thielen outscores Justin Jefferson in fantasy.
All right, real quick. Jason wants to know in standard if he plays Mike Davis, Cordell Patterson, or Latavius Murray. He says he knows it's ugly, but he needs 2 of them.
It's ugly, Jason.
You need to see what your waiver wire looks like.
Yeah. But for me, I think this is relatively easy. Cordell Patterson, he had a nice game, but the touches, where's the volume? I can't see. I need to see him with volume before I trust him in my lineup. This is standards. That's even worse. This is PPR. I'd probably pick Cordell Patterson here. But give me Latavius Murray. He's the guy who's had touchdowns in back-to-back weeks. He's had a touchdown every game so far in the 2 games. What's telling me that he's not going to have a touchdown again this week in a matchup where the Ravens should run a ton and easily win this game? Give me Latavius Murray here with a touchdown.
He needs 2. He needs 2 of those. So you're going Patterson and Murray?
No, I'm going to take Latavius Murray and Mike Davis.
Okay.
Even though Patterson did have a good game last week, Mike Davis is still seeing more snaps and usage in this offense, especially carries. So give me Mike Davis and Latavius Murray.
Okay, Eric, before your answer, what kind of shirt do you have on?
It's like a camo dry fit shirt.
A camel what?
Camo dry fit. It's like one of those. It's like
a dry fit. Okay.
Dry fit. Yeah.
I thought you said fish. Okay, good.
It's a fishing shirt, and it really is a fishing shirt. I'm exactly the same with Hamid. I did call Cordell Patterson last week. No big deal for DFS. But yeah, man, it's just a volume thing for these 2 guys, especially in standard. You want those running backs that are going to get goal line carries. Even though Patterson got a goal line carry last week, so definitely Latavius, however you say his name. But yeah, Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson. That is real gross. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry, Jason.
So what 2 are you giving him? Davis and Murray?
Davis and Murray, yes.
And Evan?
Yeah, being that it's standard scoring, you got to go Mike Davis and Latavius Murray. It's just because of the scoring. In PPR, you could consider Cordell Patterson, but like I said, being standard scoring, Mike Davis, Latavius Murray. But definitely check on the waiver wire and see there may be something out there. Somebody may be having injury situation going on and had to drop someone that could be viable for your team. So always look, because especially right before kickoff and while people are getting lineups together, sometimes you'll see people drop, people that they may not want to, and you can go ahead and snag them.
Speaking of that, I had to drop Gainwell in one league.
See?
And that was I didn't want to, but I had to. I had no choice.
Yeah.
His team was so stacked, he just couldn't even do it.
In a 12-man league, I had to drop Gainwell. It was that bad, man.
All right, gentlemen. So let's let people go to get their DFS and and their regular lineups in. I still have 2 lineups to put in. I just remembered. Eric, parting words.
Gerson already hit, and I don't want to bring this down to a really sad level because I'm just now not even recovered, but just enjoy every moment that you have, because life is very fleeting, and live life to the fullest. The most generic stuff that I can say, but realistically, we had something very sad happen in the fantasy community. So hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, and yeah, good luck in DFS and redraft and dynasty this week for everybody.
Very good. Hamid, your parting words.
I think I'm gonna follow the same suit as Eric did just for a minute. I know GoingFor2, I was introduced to it by Jeff Lambert. For those who don't know him, he actually is the power that be. He actually owns this. I won't say he owns this, but he runs GoingFor2. It's his baby. And I was in a really tough place not too long ago when my brother passed away last year, and Jeff brought me on board at a time where I was really struggling mentally myself because of that. And if it wasn't for him, I don't know how I feel right now, but it kind of gave me a boost. It kind of gave me the more juice and, something to, focus on a little bit more positively. So fantasy football isn't just about having fun in fantasy, but it's a community within itself. It's a family within itself that you can't find anywhere else. So Eric, I know you're, I believe, Air Force. I'm prior service, Army. But that's a family within itself. Then there's the fantasy community. That's a family within itself that you can't find anywhere else. That bond you will not find anywhere else. So yeah, it's a family that I don't take for granted, and I never will. So
thank you. And Evan.
Yeah, it wouldn't be right, to speak on anything else when we have that going on. Just to reiterate what the guy said. Just don't take stuff for granted. And I just feel, I have, like so many others, a fiance, 2 kids. I just can't imagine what those poor kids and his wife are going through. And you'll see all over Twitter that there's a GoFundMe that you can donate. Please go and do that. And just, always, whatever you do, man, like Hamid said, this is a community. This is a game, so don't bash one another. Just be kind. At the end of the day, we're all here for one another. We're here to give advice. We're here to help through good times and bad times. Unfortunately, this is one of those, just horrific times. So we all need to just pull together, do what we can for Tags with family, and just be kind to one another. And hashtag Tag Strong, man.
Do you know where the GoFundMe, where it is on Twitter?
Yeah, you can go on, the Fantasy Pros website. They on the Fantasy Pros Twitter account, and they have it right there.
Okay.
But various people, myself, a lot of people from GoingFor2, Eric, everyone has been retweeting it and sharing it. So it's not hard to find, not at all. And like I said, even if you're not in a position to donate, just drop a nice, kind word to him and his family, man, to his family, because you can only imagine how much, they need that right now.
All right, everyone. So everyone have a really good week. Tell someone that you don't even know, give them a little smile. Might make their day. Who knows? Yep. Tell them hello. And just remember, this is just a game, you guys. It's a game. You put money in it, but it's a game. It's not worth being ugly about. It's not worth, taking someone else down so you feel better about yourself. And like they said, go to the Fantasy Pros page. If you can't donate, you can retweet so someone else like on your line can see it, and just say something nice to his family, because it always helps to hear something nice. And I appreciate all you gentlemen. Good luck. I will see you next Sunday and on your shows. Good luck, Dallas.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
All right. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your questions. We appreciate you. We appreciate you spending time with us. Everyone, have a great Sunday. All right?
Yep. Win-win chicken dinner, fellas.
Chicken dinner. I don't even know what that means.